Hello and welcome to Vlogmas. And this thing that the cats have gotten all over. Okay, whatever. The next most popular video that I've done is basically how to describe avoidant personality disorder. And what we're doing today is making these columns and putting in a fence. Okay, let's start making columns. So how do you describe avoidant personality disorder to somebody who doesn't know what it is? Okay. These descriptions are a little strange. I'm just going to follow the colors. So first of all, what it is just a collection of personality traits. And what personality traits are is it's sort of like, it's almost like habits of how you interact with people, but more than that. So, personality traits are just like how you interact with the world. And which people understand that your personality, the traits are how you express your personality. And a personality disorder, it's just like a shorthand way of describing a collection of personality traits. So that you don't have to describe it as, low self-esteem, low trust in other people, etc. You don't have to say all that stuff because it sort of comes up as incredibly negative. Because it kind of is. Oh my goodness, the cats have been all over this thing. Let me get this off. This is Poppy. Poppy's kind of a foodie, but he's not really neat about it. Anyway, there, one done. Let's also, what? There's more stuff on here? Did I miss a page? Or 6? 20? Apparently I did. I thought that only happens to me. That needs to go there. And is it this one? No. There's like another one I'm supposed to look for. It's this. Oh, I see. It's 2 pieces together. So it's a little wedge. One of these. Nope, it's not. It's a round one. There's one of these that's round. I don't know. I'll find it. Oh, here's the little wedge. I don't see the point of the little wedge, but okay. So it's supposed to be a little wedge right here. And then somewhere, oh, there it is. A little circular. I don't get it, but whatever. There. Right? Yeah, that's what it looks like. Okay. Do this again. Back to the issue, the actual issue, which is how to describe avoidant personality disorder. Although, I would say also that it's important to know why you're describing it. Because, it's not necessarily necessary to tell anybody, and I think this is another video that's going to be coming up, Why? I mean, on the one hand, I get it. If you're newly diagnosed and you want to shout it from the rooftops, totally understand that. Because all of a sudden, it makes sense to you. However, it depends who you're going. First of all, I wouldn't tell, like, say, your boss. What's the point? But other than that, as far as saying what it is, if you're telling somebody who you know, you'll basically get one of two reactions. Which is either, I don't care, which is what happens if you try to tell somebody who is causing the abuse that is keeping you to have avoidant personality disorder. Like, they don't care. You got diagnosis and you got a thing. They only care that they can manipulate you in a way that you're going to continue to do what they want you to do. It feels to me like I don't have enough pieces. I know the cats have been up here. I don't think they've run off with them. These are not puzzle pieces. Puppy was notorious for taking my puzzle pieces. I don't think he's been doing that. I just have a gut feeling I'm going to. Anyway, yeah, so if they're like, I don't care, when you say, hey, I have this set of traits, that's basically a really big red flag waving in your face that is a person that really shouldn't be in your life. And I mean, that's a harsh thing to say, but that is the absolute truth. That means that person is the person who is maintaining your current avoidant behavior. Because the thing is, here's the problem. Avoidance is something that you came up with in order to cope with living in your life. I mean, I know that sounds like incredibly insanely stupid and basic, but it's true. That's why you have avoidant personality disorder, is because it's a coping mechanism. You learned it as a child, and that's how you're able to get through your life. However, it's not a normal way of living. And if there are people that are not, that are like, how should I put this? I mean, this is going to be really harsh, and this is going to be the absolute truth. There are people that are profiting off the fact that you have avoidant personality disorder, that they are able to live their life the way they want because you are avoidant, and because you're going to only react a certain way to certain things. And that means that they can get away with acting however they want to other certain things. And they can get away with mistreating you. Would you look at that? I got all of these. I mean, that's harsh, but that's true. I mean, like, for instance, if you've got somebody that has what I would consider to be behavior issues, how they're interacting with you is incredibly negative. Well, if they're with a person who does not have the avoidant tendency to never leave, let's put it that way, they're not going to get away with being able to do that. Like, my mother definitely, constantly, like kept stoking the fire under my avoidant thought processes, absolutely, because it profited her. Because then she had me as like sort of like indentured servant, that I would just do whatever she said and whatever she wanted, whatever she needed. She didn't have to worry about it. I would do it for her. Oh, there's one more piece that I don't have one here. One of these got a hole in it. Does it have a hole? It doesn't have a hole. It has this. This goes. Okay, I'm going to take this little guy off so that I can fit this in here. I'm going to put this little guy back on, maybe. Oh, this is hard. Oh no! I mean, it's supposed to fit. But it doesn't really fit. Maybe that's supposed to be down more. What is the point of that being there? Well, now that I got it down, how can I get it up? It's not all the way down, this problem. Get it down more. Did I just ruin this thing? Probably by... Oh, there we go. I got it. There we go. Anyway, but yeah, that is, so if somebody is telling you, okay, so you got this diagnosis. Again, there is a difference between having a diagnosis and not having a diagnosis, and I know that people don't like that, and they kind of wish it was the same, because it is easier not to have to go deal with the doctor and everything else. Yeah, if somebody says, I don't care, that means that they are actively, they know it. They are actively aware of all of your traits that add up to avoidant personality disorder, and they are, oh my goodness, should I stop here or should I keep going? Yikes. Look at all this. I really think I should stop and make this short. Okay, so they're getting something out of it. They're getting something out of being able to behave in a way that would be unacceptable to somebody who didn't have the traits. Okay, if they say, yeah, I don't care. The other reaction, my oldest friend in the world, who I've known since I was single digits, like very single digits. I think he was 4 and I was 7 when we met, something like that. Anyway, so I mean, we're talking decades and decades I've known this person. And he knew my parents, and he knew how I grew up, and he knew why I became avoidant. And he actually said that he personally has had trauma in his life and had to work on it, because it's almost a level of PTSD, seeing how both of my parents interacted with my sister and I, which is just bizarre, because all we were told was it wasn't as bad as other people. And the comparison, like my mother's constantly saying, well, I didn't do this as bad as your father was bad. I mean, it was entirely her attempt at getting out of any responsibility for what she was doing. Anyway, but he, who had seen everything and known everything, and even if he didn't see that, he knew me, and has known me for years and years and years. He knows how I interact with people, is not fazed at all when I have my little, I'm going to disappear into the woodwork phases. He's just like, okay, whatever, I have other people in my life, and you'll come back when you come back. and he's completely cool with it. Anyway, his reaction was like, yeah, I knew. It's kind of extremely similar to what I've heard people who have had some coming out stories and telling family members or whatever they're gay. They're like, oh, I thought you were going to tell me something I didn't already know. Huh. Ooh, I thought you actually had something to tell me. That sort of reaction, that's the other reaction that people have when they find out that you have avoidant personality disorder. And those are the people that it's like, okay, I mean, it's a big deal to you, and they're just like, okay, so you have a name for it now. That's just who you are, and I accept you, and you are who you are, and it's a quirk for sure, this combination of, you're like, yeah, so what's the big deal? That's who you are. It's no big deal. I think those people are really interesting, and those are the ones that, even though it might even be offensive to you, like, what? Why aren't you like, yay, shouting from the rooftops? I found the reason for this. It's because it's not an issue for them. Anyway, so it's sort of like odd tangent to what the original thing was, which was, how do you describe it? But I did cover that. You know, it's much less of a big deal, believe it or not. It's a huge deal to you because you've suddenly got an answer for what is going on in your life. And but for other people that are in your life, they already know. So if it's somebody that's brand new that's in your life, I still suggest, I mean, especially in the beginning, you're like, I want to tell the whole planet. But avoidant personality disorder is still in the range of normal. It's a combination that doesn't occur in everybody, but almost everybody has had every single one of the traits at one point in their life. These are normal things that happen to people when you have avoidant personality disorder. Problem is, you have them all, they stick together, and they don't leave when you have avoidant personality disorder. But it's not so foreign for other people. They don't understand the effect it has on you until they've been taught. But just straight up describing it is just like average to them, I'm sure. It's but yeah, that's what I would look for. I mean, again, I try to in addition to making a cute little gingerbread house here as a way to keep my face off camera, because I'm going through that thing that I go through and then come away from like, oh yeah, I don't care that I'm on camera, and I'm like, oh, I cannot have yeah, no, especially editing. Oh my goodness, to look at my face. Ugh. Anyway, it's bad enough to hear myself, oof, which, as you know, does not always go over. Yeah. That's what I would look for. This is like life advice for somebody with avoidant personality disorder. If you tell them and they say, I don't care, that's somebody that you want to work on getting out of your life. If you tell them, you know, because they're never going to be an advocate for you, they're never going to be on your side. All they're going to care about is what they can get from you, period. And they're going to make you feel crappy for your entire life because they want you to do their bidding, basically. I'm manipulating this whole thing to make it look right. If, however, they say, yeah, that's who you are, what's the big deal? That's the type, oh my goodness, I'm beating it up. I need to stop touching this thing. That's the people that you want in your life, because those are the people that know you, accept you, and are just like, okay, yeah, that's who you are. That's how you do. Okay, those are the people who will have your back. Anyway, I've done enough beating up of this little doohickey, and I think I've finished talking about this subject. So that's Vlogmas for today, and I will see you tomorrow. Goodbye.